Hey everybody, welcome to Drive-Thru Review 237. Today I'm going to talk to you about Trieste. This is a 3-player only game from Victory Point Games, designed by Matthew Ma. This is a really interesting game. Basically, each player gets a unique deck of cards specific to their role, and you have a thief, a city watch, and a merchant. So each player has a different victory condition. So the city watch wants to capture a certain number of thieves, and the thieves want to basically perform these infamous actions. And most of the time they'll be robbing the merchant, and the merchant wants to get to a certain amount of money, kind of depending upon how many thieves the city watch has caught. So you're all playing against each other, but at moments you kind of have to cooperate with each other to basically bash the leader, but it kind of works in a more thematic sense. As you know, the thief is maybe doing too much damage to the merchant, so you as the city watch don't, levy too many taxes on them, so you can get them, you kind of leave them alone a little bit, but you don't want to leave them too much alone because they'll just end up like drawing a bunch of money, turn after turn, and then winning the game. So let's talk about how the game works, and I'll come back and tell you what I think.
So here you can see all the cards that come with the game. Now we have this main central deck here of money cards. You can see we've got coppers, there's 1 diamond in here, and this number here shows you how much the card is going to be worth. So when you play a card, this is the amount of money it will generate. There's 1s, 2s, and 3s here, and so each player will get 2 coppers in their hand to start the game, and then we'll have this deck here in the center. Now we also have 3 main decks for each of the different factions. Here we can see the merchant deck. These have kind of a green border. All the cards have a cost to play, and then they also have a level which may or may not come into play here. Some of the effects on the different cards will interact with the level of the card. So you'll start with 2 of these in your hand, as well as the 2 coppers to start the game. We can see here we've got the City Watch deck. These are in blue, and then here the Thief deck. These are in red here. Now, in addition to each of the decks for each of the players, you're also going to have some other cards here. So we have 3 heroes for each of the different factions, and you can sort of do these randomly or choose one, and these are cards that you're going to have face down. You'll be able to reveal, and some of the effects will tell you when to reveal them, and maybe they'll stay face up. You'll be able to turn them down and use them based on what the text says. Now the game, the instructions say to play without the heroes the first time you play the game. I say that's probably true, to get to know, what the decks do a little bit better. But definitely after you play it a couple times, definitely add these in, because they do add a nice sort of extra layer, and you can kind of, base your strategies a little bit based on what the different heroes do. Now, each of the factions also has some victory condition cards. Now, what the thief is basically trying to do is score 9 of these infamy cards. So they have 9 of these. So whenever one of their characters here is a character, whenever one of their characters is successful, basically thieving from the merchant, you can score an infamy card. In addition, some of these cards will also tell you to score like an additional infamy or something like that. So you're basically trying to score all 9 of these. If you do that and have those scored by the end of that round, then you'll be the winner. Now the City Watch here also has 3 heroes, and then their victory condition is to capture 7 of the thief characters. So they'll have some cards that maybe will be able to capture thieves, dig through the thief discard pile and capture thieves out of there. So you're trying to capture 7 of the thieves before they score their 9 infamy. Now the merchant here is interesting because they also have their 3 heroes, and then their victory condition is to get either 11 coins or 11 money, or 11 plus X, where X is the number of thieves that have been captured. Or excuse me, not the number of thieves, but the total level. So again, the level comes into play here. So as the City Watch starts capturing thieves, what you want them to do as the merchant to protect them from thieving from you, it also sort of increases your threshold for the victory condition. So the way around is going to work is you're going to have, again, 2 cards out of your deck, and also 2 $1 copper coins to start the game. And then in player order, and the player order is always going to be the same. It's always going to be City Watch, Merchant, and then Thief. You're going to draw 2 cards. Now you can just draw 2 money cards if you want. you can draw 2 cards out of your deck, or you can draw 1 from each. So everybody's going to take turns drawing 2 cards, and then you can play a card face down. Now you can, if you want, play a money card face down, or you can play one of your action cards face down. Now if you play a money card face down and you reveal that, you're basically going to draw this number of money cards. Now you cannot do that with the diamond or with the ones that are 3. There's some gold coins in here. You can't use the 3 or the 4 to draw more money cards. You've always got to use the 1 or the 2 to do that. And that may be something that the merchant does often to sort of generate more and more money, or at least try to dig and find those higher value cards in there. But if you're the thief or the city watch, you may also do that if you're starting to get low on money as well. Otherwise, if you have an action card face down, you're going to then reveal them in turn order. Again, the city watch, merchant, and thief, and they reveal that. You pay the cost once everybody has done that, and then you're going to exact the effect of the card. And this is also the phase when you would actually draw the money cards if you had played a money card. And you're going to do that, and then after everybody's done that, you're going to see if anybody has won the game. If nobody's won the game, then you can actually buy back any level 1 or higher cards back into your hand by paying their cost, so maybe to be able to reuse the cards. And maybe the thief will want to get some of their cards back because they have some really high priced and high ability items in here that they want to get in their hand, and they don't want to leave them in the discard pile because the city watch can actually go into the discard pile and capture some discarded thieves. So the city watch here, a couple different things. So this one, capture a level 2 or lower thief character revealed this turn or in the discard pile. If a character is captured this way, then the thief will lose 1 infamy. And a lot of these cards will act like that. So this recruitment officer, search the city walk deck for 3 different cards, reveal them and put them into the hand. And then, there's a lot of these kind of cards that you're just going to play these and just do their effect. Now, the thing to keep in mind here, and I just want to not go through every card, but here is a politician. This is something you're going to need to know about as the city watch. So this card costs 1 more for each revealed tax, but what this does is search your deck for a tax card and play it for free, or send a revealed monopoly card to the merchant discard pile. And these taxes are going to be how you sort of keep the merchant in check here. So if we take a look at this card here, where's that? It's a tax. Here we go. Here's a security tax. This is an interesting one. So basically, on payment phases, level 3 merchant action cards and level 1 thief character cards cost 1 more, and level 2 city watch cards cost 1 less. So you're going to kind of put the hamper on the merchant. And there's income taxes, and some other taxes will let you sort of grab cards out of the merchant and thing. Here's the income tax. So let's read the income tax. At the beginning of your end phase, the merchant must reveal a treasure card from their hand and give it to you. If they cannot, then they show your hand. So this is another way of sort of, keeping the merchant down. So these taxes and politicians is how you're going to keep the merchant from just, again, running up and just digging for money. And then a lot of these sort of patrol officers and different types of guys are going to be more about capturing the thieves. Now the merchant here is very simple. It's very about money generation. So this one costs 0. Draw 2 treasure cards. Immediately discard 1. Let's see. You may discard a treasure card from your hand. If a card is discarded this way, draw treasure cards equal to the value of discard treasure plus 1. So that's another way that you can get a lot of treasures and break the rule of the 1s and 2s. Now there is a monopoly card, which I referred to earlier, and this is something that you're going to have to kind of know and play the decks to figure out. And where's that? Monopoly. Here we go. There's a Monopoly card. This card stays revealed until an effect removes it. So you draw 1 extra treasure card at the end of each of your draw phases. So once you get this guy out, you can really start, hammering in the money there. So that's something that the City Watch is going to have to be mindful of here. So he says all of these are really just about manipulating money. But a lot of times you'll spend time not necessarily using these, kind of using these judiciously, but you're really focused on getting cards out of that money deck. So here, let's just look at a couple of thieves here. So let's see here. The merchant reveals all cards in their hand and discards 2 cards of your choice. Place all discarded treasure cards into your hand instead. Let's see, the merchant reveals all cards in their hand and discards 1 of their choice. If it is a treasure card, put it in your hand. If the treasure card is worth 1 or less, draw 1 thief card. If the card is worth 2 or more, gain an additional infamy. So that's an interesting kind of thing. So you don't ever really want to have too many high value cards in your hand, because the thief is going to grab those. They're going to have a lot of money to start to play some of their higher cost thieves here. So like here's the Foxy Vixen. She actually costs 5. And the player of your choice skips their next draw phase and draw 1 treasure card. So, Master of Disguises here. The character can only be captured from the discard pile. Master of Disguises has the same effect as the thief character of your choice in the captured or in the discard pile. So, once the thief starts getting a lot of money, they're going to be a little more powerful and be a little bit more elusive to the City Watch. So the gameplay is very simple, and I'll talk more about this in the review, but you really gotta kind of get to know the different decks, what's been played, how many of these really, awesome cards are in there, and things like that.
Okay, hope you enjoyed the overview. This is a game that actually we had to give several plays before I figured out that I actually liked it. Now, the first few times we played it, we were like, this is really bad. But we knew that we were kind of playing some things not necessarily correctly, or how you should play them. And that's the thing that you're going to have to realize about this game, is that you need to kind of get to know all 3 decks. It doesn't matter which role you're playing. You want to know what the thief is capable of. If you're the City Watch, you want to know what the merchants are capable of. Especially for the City Watch, because the City Watch kind of keeps a little bit of the game on, stable. And they have some different taxes that they can levy against the merchant, because it's very easy. And I've seen it even after we played the game several times. The merchant basically just draw money and that's it. And they still will win the game. Now, I'm not talking 100% of every turn it was just drawing money, but like 90% of the turns they were like, okay, I'll draw money, I'll draw money, I'll draw money. And there is a way to do that still, even after you play the game, to be able to win just by doing that. Now, that happened early on when we played, and we were like, well, this is stupid. But like, what the heck? Even the guy that was the merchant, like, this is dumb. I just drew money the whole time. But we didn't really realize, okay, there's an income tax, and there's another tax that, hits the merchant. You can have a politician to go dig and find a tax and things like that. And so we've definitely seen sort of an equal amount of wins by the different, the roles. But it's interesting to me that eventually, and I was the one that did it later on when we played with the merchant, it was interesting to me that I was still able to get away with that. I played 1 or 2 action cards, at the right time, and then I was able to still go ahead and then draw up to money. So there's some interesting things you can do once you kind of know how much money certain cards target and what level characters things do, and you can kind of get a sense for what everybody's going to do through all the different roles. So the games. That game that I won with just drawing money was still very tight, and I was very much like, on the edge of my pants, or the seat of my pants, that I wasn't going to win. But it's a very, very interesting game. But you definitely, this is one you got to play a few times to really get to know all the decks and stuff, like I was saying. And you really want to be able to change up the decks, and that's what's cool about it. You can just play, I'll play the thief, and the next game, we switch, and so it is a really, really, really good game. But I would totally recommend the game. But definitely, if you get it, you got to give it several plays and I don't know what the magic number is. I think for us, man, we must have played it. I know we played it at least twice, and I was ready to just, throw it away, so to speak. But then we played it another once or twice, and then it kind of clicked. So give it, 3-4 plays probably for your group. But now that I've warned you, maybe you don't need to have that many plays, So anyway, that's Trieste. Definitely a unique game. Plays 3 players only. I know there's a fair amount of people that like those exactly 3-player games. So thanks.